Nigeria. Who sold Nigeria to Britain? Some of you who are Nigerians might be wondering. Here is the fact of the story.
This is New Media TV in London. Live stream with confidence. Content is king. Welcome to another epic video. Your host is Frank Bello. Let's get started.
The territory that later became known as Nigeria was not sold by an individual to Britain. Instead, the Royal Niger Company transferred its territorial holdings and administrative rights to the British government in 1899, 166 years ago, for £865,000. Here are the transaction details. The seller was the Royal Niger Company. It was a British mercantile enterprise founded by Sir George Goldie in 1886, following the consolidation of various trading firms. Chartered by the British government, it was given the authority to manage and trade in the Niger River Basin, thereby expanding British influence and laying the groundwork for what would become modern Nigeria. The Royal Niger Company established a government, held a trade monopoly, and maintained its own police force, but faced considerable criticism and opposition for its monopolistic practices. Before being officially named the Royal Niger Company in 1886, it operated under different names, including the United African Company, UAC, 1879, and the National African Company, 1881. The company was granted a royal charter that gave it administrative powers over the Niger and Benue rivers, and its territory was initially allocated to Britain at the Berlin Conference of 1884, formalizing the scramble for Africa, which resulted in the partitioning of the continent among European powers without any African representation. The buyer, the British government, specifically the British Crown. British influence in Nigeria. The Royal Niger Company, RNC, was instrumental in extending British dominance in the area, guarding its interests against competing French and German ambitions. Operations and administration. 1. Monopoly on trade. The company built a strong trade monopoly in the area, imposing duties and regulating trade, which it exploited to its benefit. 2. Governance. The Royal Niger Company, RNC, established its own administrative framework, including a justice system and a police force called the Royal Niger Company Constabulary. 3. Treaties and conflict. The company used treaties with local leaders to extend its control, though it faced violent resistance from some groups, including the 1895 attack on its Akasar establishment. New Media TV. Live stream with confidence. On our social media platforms, we connect you globally with unfiltered geopolitical media content, where topics such as global politics, identity, culture, social cohesion, integration, conflict and resolution are discussed digitally without bias, reaching a worldwide audience. We simplify it by nourishing your inner mind and uplifting your spirit. Your host is Frank Bello in London. If you enjoy this video podcast or any of our live streams, please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook and YouTube. Tap the notification bell to be alerted when we post new videos or live streams. Your engagement and interaction are our most significant rewards. They help us build a stronger community. Think differently. Think beyond the headlines. Let's carry on.
Legacy and dissolution. 1. Sale to the British government. The company's charter was revoked, and it sold its holdings to the British government for £865,000 in 1900. 2. Foundation of Nigeria. The territory governed by the Royal Niger Company was a crucial part of the British colony that ultimately became Nigeria in 1914, when the northern and southern protectorates were merged. 3. Successor company. The company's operations continued under a new name, the United Africa Company, UAC, which Unilever later acquired. Chief Ernest Shonekan, who led the interim national government, ING, after General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, IBB, stepped aside in August 1993, was the former chairman of the company. Administration and conflict. 1. Governance. The Royal Niger Company, RNC, acted as a de facto government, establishing a rudimentary justice system and a private army, the Royal Niger Constabulary, to enforce its authority and safeguard its trading posts. Its headquarters were at Asaba and later Lokoja. 2. Exploitation and resistance. The company's rule was often oppressive, resulting in considerable hostility. Notable conflicts included the 1895 attack on the company's base at Akarsar by the Nemba people, which prompted a brutal British military response. 3. Imperial rivalry. The Royal Niger Company, RNC, engaged in a dispute with France and Germany over control of regional trade, utilizing its treaties to delineate the boundaries of the British sphere of influence.
Transition to colonial rule and legacy. 1. Revocation of charter. The company's controversial practices, combined with its inability to compete with state-supported foreign protectorates, and an inquiry into the Akarsar raid, led the British government to revoke its charter. 2. British government takeover. On January 1st, 1900, the British Crown took formal control of the Royal Niger Company's RNC's territories, paying the company £865,000 in compensation, equivalent to over £100 million today's money. These territories were then organised into the Northern and Southern Nigeria Protectorates, which were later amalgamated by Lord Lugard in 1914 to form modern Nigeria, merging the rich and endowed southern wife with the poor beggar northern husband, as contained in the 1914 amalgamation document. Post-charter existence. The company continued as a commercial entity, reverting to the Niger Company Limited. It was absorbed into the United Africa Company, UAC, in 1929, which in turn came under Unilever's control in the 1930s, where it remained a subsidiary until 1987. That's all for now. If you have enjoyed this video presentation and any of our live streams, please remember to like, share, follow us, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook and YouTube. Turn on notifications to be alerted when we post a new video or host a live stream. Your engagement and interaction are the most significant rewards for us. They help us build a stronger community by creating content that nourishes souls. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video. New Media TV.